Welcome to Toffee TV. This is the player ratings for Watford 1, Everton 0. Bit late, I know, but just trying to get the rage down a little bit. This video is sponsored by OneFootball. OneFootball's app makes it easy to find the latest news, stats and scores all in one place. To download the OneFootball app, click the link in the description. Watford 1, Everton 0. I've had 24 hours to digest this one. And you know what? In reflection, we were just as bad as I thought we were, except we had more shots on target and loads more possession. Yet we still, and that's the most annoying thing, is that we've still been beaten by a very average Watford team. A Watford team that had 2 clear-cut chances and took one of them. The other one saved by Jordan Pickford. And that's the most frustrating thing. That we've been beaten by a very average side. Second half, we were terrible. We never made anything clear cut. The goalkeeper hasn't really had to make a save. He's only really had to make one save in the entire game with the shot from Tosin. Yes, we hit the bar a couple of times, but even when both times we hit the bar, it never felt like it was going. It's at the top of the bar. And I'm still trying to process what style we're trying to play or what we're trying to achieve at the club. I've just watched Man City beat Chelsea 6-0, and I suppose you can look at it from both sides. Man City are amazing, and if you look at all their players, they were all bought to play that system, and they play it brilliantly. Where Chelsea are sort of like a better version of us in terms of lots of managers, no real identity, no real leaders at the club, yet they've just got a higher quality of player so that they're still in the top 6. And I suppose there's two. We all want to be Man City, don't we? But I suppose Chelsea are. That's what happens if you in terms, Chelsea are just a mismatch, where City, there's a defined thing of what they want to be, and it shows you, I suppose, even with all the money, and both of them have got all the money. If you do something one way and you aim for one thing and you keep going for it, you can get spectacular results. Whereas if you're Chelsea, there's no identity. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It just depends how it clicks that particular year. And obviously we are Chelsea light in a way. It looks like Chelsea could change their manager again. And that's where we are at the moment. And I suppose, I don't know, that's the crumb of hope I've got for this manager, is that if he gets players in that have an identity, his identity, then we might see something better. But the only problem is, on the pitch at the moment, I can't see that identity. And again, that's a big problem. I can't see any identity. I can't see players struggling with an identity. I just don't see it. I don't see a style of play or how we're trying to play. I've just watched Leicester earlier play Tottenham, and Leicester are the same in terms of they're trying to play a certain way, but I think with them, you can see it on the pitch. They're not very good, but at least you can sort of see what they're trying to do, even though they're not very good. Whereas us, my major problem at the moment is I can't see what we're trying to do. That's the biggest thing that worries me. And that means that the manager can't get his ideas over to his players. And this is where it's going to be interesting on whether Marcel Brands and ultimately Farhad Moshiri really believe in what he wants to do. But then what that takes them to go out and then find the players who fit. And at the moment, we simply don't have that. And I know it's been mentioned before, we have a real mix of players. we've just seen Chelsea have conceded 10 goals in the last 2 away games because it's a manager come in who's tried to change the style, and some of the players adapt to it and some of them don't. and I don't know. I don't know what we will do or what the future holds. I just want to see better, and that's what annoyed me yesterday. Is the game was there to be won. It really was. I've just watched a little highlight package on Sky, 3-minute highlight package, and literally it was all us, apart from a couple of Watford chances. But it's the fact that we never grabbed the game by the scruff of the neck and took it on, because that identity, we don't have a basic way of playing that allows us to get a grip of a game. And that, to me, is a big problem when it's February and we've got some really tough games coming up. So, yeah, I don't know. It's a big couple of weeks, even though we haven't got a game. We'll see what happens. Anyway, let's get into the player ratings. Jordan Pickford, I'll give him a 7. I thought he was quite steady during the game. Made a really good save in the first half. Come off his line a couple of times as well, which was better to see. One where I think he come out and then fell over one of our players, but that was an unfortunate thing. But it looked a bit better. I'm very unlucky. Obviously, didn't make a save that led to a corner, that led to their goal. So I've given him a 7. John Joe Kenny, I've given him a 7 as well. I thought he was very solid. Getting stuck in, which is the minimum requirements. Looked like he wants it, and it was all right going forward as well. But again, it's that old thing of who was playing in front of him, sort of didn't really give him an opportunity. So yeah, I've given him 7. Luca Dean, I've given a 6. Again, he was all right, but he was just, for me, he just didn't have that. He didn't have that the attitude that someone like John Joe Kenny has. He's a little bit more timid, I would say. He didn't get forward enough for me. Hit the bar with a free kick. It was an alright free kick, but as soon as he left his foot, I don't think anyone thought, "Oh, this is going in." It just happened that it escaped the top of the bar. Decision making at times is wrong, and he's just needs to pick his game up a little bit. But yeah, I've given him a 6. Kurt Zuma, even though he got sent off, he got sent off just for remonstrating with the referee over a decision. He got sent off after the final whistle, but I've given him a 7. I thought he defended quite well. Won a lot in the air. Took control a little bit, I thought, in at the back, but you know, ultimately it's not been enough to get us a clean sheet. Michael Keane, I've given a 6. I just thought he was a little bit less on it than Kurt Zuma. Again, he's too timid at times for me. He's got to be more. Have you ever seen Michael Keane get upset or angry or fume at all? If he's not in him, it's not in him. You know, what can you say? And that's why you need a leader next to someone like Michael Keane if he's gonna make it, you know, at the highest level and do things. But no, so I've given him a 6. Garner, I've given 7.5. I thought he was our best player on the pitch. I thought his attitude was absolutely spot on. He won 50-50s all over the pitch. He was seeing things ahead of everybody else. His attitude, it was spot on. He was a little bit more ambitious with his passing at times, and it paid off. I thought he was our man of the match in that midfield, and really showed what others didn't. And that's slightly worrying for a player that wanted to get off 2 weeks ago. But there you have it. He's a player with a bit of ambition. Tom Davies, I've given a 7. I thought he did okay. Okay, he's a bit sloppy at times, but he's the only one in the midfield who really wants to break through the lines and get forward. And I think, again, the manager is making mistakes by not just pushing him forward and telling him to do that job. Because I think when he gets sucked back into the midfield, I think you lose what makes him a good player. So I'd just leave him up there. And I know what he lacks in creativity, I think he makes up for it in drive and desire and trying to push the team forward so he can get higher up the pitch. So I've given him a 7. Gomez, I've given a 5. I thought he was poor again. It's going to come to the crunch soon whether we're going to keep this player, and at the moment I'm not a hugger, put it that way, at the moment. I just thought he was very sloppy in possession, very sloppy, and he's a player who's got the quality to keep teams like Watford at bay and keep the ball and keep us ticking over. I thought he was very sloppy in this game. So I've given him a 5. Gylfi Sigurdsson, I've given him a 4. He was out of his normal position, and you could tell. And in those positions where you need legs, he has got no legs at all. I thought it was a very strange decision by the manager to play that system. I really did. It offered very, very little. I know he had one that went onto the bar as well, but again, it was like hit the top of the bar and bounced off. But there was no real quality, and it was just lifted. But we didn't see any. The things that we need to see from him have to come from the middle of the park a little bit deeper, and out there, you know, even if he throws in crosses, who's going to get on the end of them? So I'll give him a 4. Richarlison, I'll give a 3. I thought he was absolutely terrible, and that might just be my opinion, but I just thought he got caught up in the game. I really did. I just don't think recently he's been very, very poor. Thought Saturday he just didn't handle it at all well. First challenge on him, he went down, and I thought that was the wrong thing to do again. Stay up and show them that you're prepared to fight. Stop going down on every occasion, because the referee is just ignoring it now. And if we as a club or the manager doesn't make any deal of the fact that he's being fouled or whatever, then the referees are just going to ignore it. And I thought from then on he started to try to go, oh, I'll show you, and take people on, and he just ended up looking stupid. He didn't have any influence on the game at all, and he was ultimately subbed, and the Watford fans got the last laugh. So I just thought it was a poor game for him. And Tosin, again, I feel a little bit sorry for Tosin, because the way we play, it just doesn't suit him. I've given him a 5, but that's because he never really did anything for us. He had the one shot, the keeper saved, but you know, it was there to be saved, let's be honest. But he's so ineffective, because you don't give him service or put players around him that can help him. What's the point? There's no point. He could fight all day long, but as a long striker, he just can't do it. He doesn't cover the ground well enough, and we already know that. So why are you exposing him to that? Put someone in and around him to do that, to be the link player. It's a joke. It's just a joke that we continue. We haven't got a good quality centre forward, and I know that's the biggest problem with this team. And if we had, let's say we had Lukaku, we'd easily be pissing 7th place. We would, because he'd scored the goals that would win us these games. He really would. And that was the difference 2 seasons ago. That would be the difference. But we don't. So we've got to change the team. And it might be that if Silva had a striker like that, then suddenly everything would click into place and you go, oh, I get it. But we haven't. So you've got to deal with that first. You know, it's like the set pieces. You can't continue saying, well, this is it all works in theory, but if it's not working on the pitch, then you've got to change something about it, whether it's the formation or whatever. So I'll give him a 5. The subs, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, I've given a 5 as well. He had a decent chance with the header, put it over. He did add a little bit of something, but nah, he's getting a 5. Walcott's getting a 5 as well. He was rubbish. And Bernard didn't offer anything, so he's getting a 5 as well. So there you go. They have been my player ratings. Let me know in the comments if you agree, disagree with what I've said. Thanks for watching. I'll see you later.